Picture this. It is almost midnight. You are in bed, phone in hand, and you are scrolling. You are not planning to buy anything tonight, but there it is. And suddenly, you can see it in your life. You can almost feel it. You click buy. And for the next 2 days, you check the tracking page like it is a heart monitor. The package finally arrives. You tear the box open. And 2 days later, it is already part of the furniture. Invisible. Forgotten. We have all done this. And here is the uncomfortable part. It was not an accident. Your brain was played, on purpose, by people who study exactly how you make decisions. I know, because I am one of those people. I write ads for a living. And today, I am going to show you what happens inside your head in the 3 seconds before you click buy. Welcome to The Money Mind, the channel about the psychology behind every dollar you spend, save, and lose. Here's the core idea of this video. You believe your purchases are decisions. Most of them are not. They are reactions, predictable, repeatable, and profitable for someone else. By the end of this video, you will know the 4 psychological triggers that make you buy things you do not need, and one simple rule that switches them off. And trigger number 4 is the one that will sting the most, because it is not about your money at all. It is about who you think you are. Stay with me. Let us start with the biggest misunderstanding about shopping. You think buying things makes you happy. Science says something stranger. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz at the University of Cambridge spent decades studying dopamine, and his research changed how we understand pleasure. Dopamine does not spike when you get the reward. It spikes when you anticipate it. It is the chemical of wanting, not the chemical of having. Think about what that means for shopping. The browsing, the imagining, the picturing your life with the thing. That is the high. The moment the product arrives, the wanting is over, and the dopamine drops off a cliff. Remember the tracking page you checked 3 times a day? That was the best part of the purchase, not the product, the waiting. Your brain got what it actually wanted, which was the chase. The box was just the receipt. And here is the part nobody tells you. Online stores know this. That is why they show you countdown timers on delivery, order tracking maps, and confirmation emails written like celebrations. They are not informing you. They are stretching the anticipation because the anticipation is the product. But dopamine alone does not make you click. Something has to push you over the edge, which brings us to trigger number 2. Scarcity. Only 3 left in stock. Sale ends at midnight. 12 people are viewing this right now. You have seen these messages thousands of times, and you have told yourself you are immune. Here is why you are not. Back in 1975, psychologist Stephen Wershel ran a beautifully simple experiment. He gave people a cookie from a jar with 10 cookies, or the same cookie from a jar with just 2. Same cookie, same taste, but people rated the cookie from the nearly empty jar as significantly more desirable. Nothing about the cookie changed, only the scarcity did. Why? Your brain evolved in a world where scarcity meant survival. If food was running out, the humans who grabbed it first lived. So your brain treats a limited offer not as information, but as a threat. And threats bypass logic. The fear of missing out is not a weakness of character. It is ancient wiring. Marketers did not invent it. They just found the button, and they press it every single day. Now a confession from inside the industry. When I write an ad, adding urgency is one of the first tools I reach for because it reliably lifts sales. The countdown is rarely real. The stock is rarely low. But your amygdala does not check sources. And wait, because it gets worse. Even when the scarcity fails, even when you resist the timer, there is a second layer working underneath it. One you literally cannot feel anymore. Trigger number 3. And this one is my favorite because almost nobody talks about it. Paying used to hurt. Literally. In 2007, researchers at Carnegie Mellon, Stanford, and MIT put people in a brain scanner and watched them shop. When prices appeared, something remarkable lit up. The insula, a brain region associated with pain and disgust, the same area that reacts to a bad smell. Handing over money causes real, measurable discomfort. That discomfort was a natural brake on spending. You felt the money leaving. Think about the last time you paid for something big in cash, counting out the bills one by one. You felt every single one of them. Now think about the last time you tapped your phone. You felt nothing. That difference is not an accident. The industry removed the pain step by step. Cards hurt less than cash. Contactless hurts less than cards. One-click checkout hurts less than contactless. And buy now, pay later does not hurt at all because the payment happens to future you. And your brain treats future you as a stranger. Every innovation in payment technology has one hidden goal: make spending feel like nothing. And when spending feels like nothing, you spend on things that mean nothing. But that is not even the biggest problem, because the deepest trigger has nothing to do with dopamine or scarcity or pain. It is about who you think you are. Trigger number 4. You do not buy products, you buy versions of yourself. Picture yourself in January. New year, new energy. You buy running shoes. But be honest about what you actually bought. Not foam and rubber. You bought the person who wakes up at 6 and runs by the sea. When you buy a planner, you are buying the organized version of you. When you buy an expensive coffee machine, you are buying slow mornings and a calmer life. The product is a ticket to an imaginary identity. And here is the trap. The purchase gives you the feeling of becoming that person without doing any of the work. Buying the running shoes feels almost like running, so the shoes stay in the box because the box already did its job. We have all got one of these somewhere. The guitar in the corner, the language course open twice, the exercise bike that became the most expensive clothes hanger in the house. Those were never products. They were promises we made to ourselves at checkout. As a copywriter, I can tell you this openly. Good ads never sell the object. They sell the identity. The headline is never "buy this blender." The headline is "become the person whose kitchen looks like this." So 4 triggers, all firing at once, all invisible. It sounds hopeless. It is not. Because there is one rule that disarms all 4 at the same time. The 72-hour rule. Anything you did not plan to buy waits 3 days in the cart. No exceptions. Here is why it works against every trigger we covered. The dopamine spike of anticipation fades within hours. So after 3 days, you are deciding with a calm brain. The fake urgency expires and you discover the sale mysteriously continues. The pain of paying gets a chance to register. And the imaginary identity fades, leaving just the object which you can finally judge for what it is. Picture it. 3 days later, you open the cart, you look at the thing, and half the time you feel absolutely nothing. That silence is your answer. The want did not survive. And if after 72 hours you still want it, buy it. Enjoy it without a gram of guilt. That is not restriction. That is the difference between choosing and reacting. Your brain was never designed for a world where 1,000 companies compete for your impulses. But once you see the triggers, they lose most of their power. That is the whole mission of this channel, not to make you spend less, to make you decide more. Next time, we will look at the trick hiding in almost every price tag on the planet, and why $9.99 does not fool your eyes. It fools something much older. Subscribe so you do not miss it. And tell me in the comments, what is the last thing you bought and never used? Be honest. I will read every answer, and I promise mine is embarrassing too.